Hello everyone, I am in the wrong place, but this is Plankera. I forgot to check where my model was in the model viewer. But here I am! And welcome to my universe. So, today I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. I did an Infinity Nikki stream yesterday, and I've still been a little bit out of it from being sick, so I don't actually remember what I was doing last time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue working over here. Just gonna embrace the scuff a little bit today. Okay. So yeah, I'll go over here and then probably revisit this area once I'm happy with how all this is in the corners and whatnot. I was taking a look at all that, and I think I have a lot of it mostly good. There's just something here. It's not quite working for me. But fortunately, I think I know what that is. Now I'm just over here checking to make sure my sound is working, because, I don't know, with how off I have been so far, I just want to make sure nothing is exploding. I even did my usual checks, but here we are. Okay, so yes, what I saw over here was just that I felt like it was expanding upward a little bit, so I'm just going to try to move this entire thing down a little. I felt like the width of it all was okay, so I'm just trying to gently push it all down. Hopefully get that in a slightly better spot. Oh yeah, that's already a lot better. I'm not sure if it's exactly perfect yet, but it is much better. Let's see here. Just gonna stare at this for a little bit and see what I see. Okay. I think I know what to do. Sometimes it just takes a moment of thinking about it. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Let me see. There's these like little light spots, little splotches in there. And I want to make sure that they're moving correctly. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, cool. Just a little small touch up there. I don't think I'm ever gonna like this part in the right turns. Just kind of the way it's shook out. I think I can make it a little bit better, though. So let's floof this all out here. Is that a little bit better? Let's check the movement here. I just figured I'd try to make it a little bit rounder and nicer. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit better. Okay, I'll take it. Alright, so I think we're good to do some corners now. Oh boy! That's how I always feel when it's time to do some corners. Alright. Fortunately, I didn't actually move that much, so I do not think that this will be that bad. It's a nice day to do something that probably won't be quite so bad when I am feeling perhaps a little bit scuffed still. It's alright, I'm getting there. Continuing to lament just how much the body affects the mind. It's like, what do you mean not being able to eat for like a day or two is just totally gonna prevent me from being able to think clearly? What the heck? Oh yeah, and when I was doing this, I was looking at these parts too. I suppose I should check that as well. Do I still like what I did there? You know, I think when I ended stream last time I was working on this, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna trust my future self to be able to find any mistakes that I made, and man, past self, you really believed in me. I appreciate it, but perhaps right now is a little bit unwarranted. The memories are coming back a little. And indeed, it looks like there's a couple of things I want to fix up here. Not too many, though. I think everything actually looks pretty alright. Probably why I forgot that I worked on this part, too. Like, it's really easy to remember when you did something when it's just totally wrong, because you look at it and just like, man, past self, what are you even doing? But it's pretty okay. It's easy to forget. Because you look at it and it's just invisible, as it should be. Okay, cool. I'm just kind of looking at the little strand coming up here. I thought that there might have been a couple of problems, and honestly, there still might be. I think this one's actually going a little bit high. It's like I'm looking really hard right there, so it makes sense that suddenly I just start seeing a couple of things in various nearby places. This is why whenever I'm doing scans of places, you'll often see me just move her head around a lot. Because I want to check, like, this clump, and then clump over here, and clump over here. Because you can't really scrutinize the entire thing all at once. Brain does not have enough processing power. Brains are remarkably terrible at focusing on things. Or maybe it's more accurate to say that they're very, very good at focusing on very specific things. To the detriment of literally everything else. Okay. But I think it's good now. So now I'm just gonna carry on to my upper left turn. Because for whatever reason, that's the one I have decided to do first. It's okay, I don't need a reason. I'm gonna be getting all four corners eventually, so just picking a random spot to start with is totally fine. Let me see, how do I want to do this? How did I do it over here? So I'm looking at the shadow area, and it looks like it's still fairly large there, so yeah, that makes sense. So I'll make it fairly large up here, too. But first, I definitely gotta fix this. Oh my. Oop. Oop. Scuff drinking just always looks so funny. Just watching things squirm around, not knowing what's going on. So let's shove this part back into place here. Yeah, when I was doing everything on the front bang, I made a point of not touching that area. because I knew that it would be dependent on a bunch of other things over here that I just wasn't ready to deal with yet. But it's okay, now I am. So now I'll just guide everything into place as it should be. Like, I think this is perfect. I might need to make some adjustments over there, but... yeah, I really didn't move over here very much at all. Okay, I do think I want to loop things out there. So we'll just expand this just a little bit. Not a lot, just a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, that seems a little bit better. There's still, like, something right here, though. So I might need to expand out there a little bit more still. Yeah, I gotta say, the next model I do, I love the art here, and it has been a great time working with it. Truly. This is definitely not me coping. I have honestly enjoyed working with this art, but I think the next one I want to do something with hair that's a little bit less ridiculous. But man, the way this artist draws hair is just so nice. But I think I want to do something a little bit simpler next. Because boy, lining up all this stuff in the hair has been a task. I'm still hoping that my assessment of the difficulty of this model will be correct, in that the hair is going to be the hardest point, and it's going to take more than the rest of the more time than the rest of the model combined. That is still my hope. So I'm hoping that the body turns go a little bit more smoothly for me. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think that strand is looking much better now, so I can get right back into figuring out what the heck I'm gonna do over here. Got a little bit of squirming that I don't quite enjoy. I think before I worry about these shadow shapes, I'm gonna go and do the thing that sits on top of them. So this guy here. I thought he was looking pretty alright. Just got a couple of little spots that need to be stretched back out again. Because it looks like everything just got compressed up into that corner somehow. Not sure how that happened. But it happens. It's fine. I can fix it. Okay, yeah, that wasn't so bad at all. Fortunately, that kind of compression is pretty easy to deal with. It just means I grab the vertices and I push them all down. Just shove them apart. And then everything's generally fine again. Nice and easy to deal with. Okay. So on the top of this little area here, there's a tiny little highlight, and right now it is pointing in the wrong direction. You can see here it's very flat, and here it's even pretty flat. But here I have it pointing upward, so can't have that. Gotta point it back down. I think it was just a side effect of when I was trying to make it a little bit higher. I ended up letting it point in the wrong direction. Okay. I feel like it's almost there. Something about line here. Let me see, did it need to show more? I believe it did, yes. Okay. I just wanted to check. But I actually think having it show a little bit here looks pretty good, because it puts a little bit of a dark line on top of this little strand that kind of sticks out there. Alright, and there we go. I think that's looking pretty good. Oh, I actually have it pointing up in this direction too. Okay, I should fix that. That little highlight I was just talking about, and how I had it pointing up before, and that was wrong. Somehow it was pointing up here too, and I didn't notice. Well, I definitely can't have that, so let's point it back down. There we go. There we go. You know, maybe I should check my other turn just to make sure that highlight isn't pointing up where it shouldn't be. Yeah, it's pointing up down here too. Man. Okay. It's not really pointing up here as much, but it is a little bit, so I kind of want to taper that down, but the lower turn has it pretty bad. So I'll just... There we go. What even happened here? Wow. Okay. And there we go. I was actually noticing something else on the front bang here that I'm gonna fix real quick. There's a little highlight here. It needs to be a little bit longer. Needs to go into that red area a little bit more. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's much better. All it needed. Always nice when things are that simple. Okay, now I feel like this area is pretty good, so I can worry about that little shadow now. So let's see, I think I want that shadow to be a little bit thicker. So I'll just gently, gently, gently push it over there. But now I have a pretty solid idea. And I can kind of trust it. Because I got all the stuff on top of it looking just the way I wanted it to. Okay, now I can shape over here a little bit better. I'm not actually sure why that's not working the way I think it should. Mystery solved. Okay. It's alright, just need to line up all these shadows a little bit better. This is why consulting the mesh can make life a little bit easier. Looks like a lot of things just kind of got spread out in less than optimal ways. Made a couple of spots a little bit lumpier than they should. Such things do happen. It's okay. Just gotta go in and fix it. Okay, that all seems fine. Let's see how it looks now. Yeah, that looks much better. Alright, I think that's good. So now let's do the lower left. Looks like I'll have a little bit more to do on the lower left with this strand here, because it's sticking out a bit. Okay, and then I know I moved it down a little bit here, so that is good because I think I would really like to move it down a bit here too. So hopefully when I make that kind of change, because I changed my lower turn, it'll just work. Hopefully it'll just line up the way that I'm expecting it to. Okay, and I think I need to carry this down a little. This part I actually feel like is sticking out a little bit too much. Everything over here is good, though. Honestly, I'm really relieved to see that over here is good. Because working with the bottom of that strand has always been kind of a thing. Hold on, bad itch of my hip here. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. I feel like it's still growing outward a little bit, so I'm still gonna tuck it back in more, but I am definitely going in the right direction. I've said it before, sometimes you don't have to know what the answer is. Sometimes you just kind of gotta know what direction you're going for, and you'll just trip over it like a rock on a trail. And it'll all just kind of work out. But perhaps I did it too much there, because now it's not lining up with the left turn. So let's try to find a good, happy medium here, where it looks good with the lower turn and the left turn. Oh yeah, I gotta expand on my not necessarily knowing the right thing to do, but knowing the right direction. I think it applies to most things in life. I'm sure that there are many people out there that look like they've got life all figured out, but I can guarantee that they're probably just about as clueless as everyone else. So I don't think anybody's really got life figured out. But if you at least have a general idea of the direction that you want to go in, just some kind of guiding light anywhere at all, and you can at least move in that direction and do something. And I think that's a good way to be. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this strand now, so I'm gonna go into this guy. Who is pointing up? Man, I just did that everywhere. It's alright, my little strands. We'll get all that fixed up. Don't worry about it. See? Nice and easy. Now it's not pointing up. Okay, it's still going a little bit too far to the right there. But I fixed all the other problems. You know, I thought that this thing would be a pain in the ass to move, but no, it's actually being pretty simple. It's just going and doing its thing. It's always nice when things work out like that. Taking a little bit less work than I expected. Nice when I'm not feeling good, too. There's something about how this underneath spot is not moving the way that I want, but I'm not sure where the problem is exactly. I think it might actually be on the left turn. I'm gonna go ahead and consult the mesh and see what's making it so angry. Okay, it's probably a little bit of both. Let me just correct everything that I can on the left here, and then I will go do something similar on the upper left. Yeah, I guess with the way I have this set up, I should be showing a little bit less shadow than I do over my top turn. That's actually kind of important. I want to show more than I do on my left turn, but less than I do on my top turn. So hopefully that'll make it look like she is moving up, but also to the left. Yeah. There we go, that's lined up much better now. Just had to think about that one for a second. Oh, I actually feel like this is sticking out a bit more than it should, too. This entire area just was just pulled far to the right at some point. Probably when I was messing with stuff over here, I just happened to grab this area, too, on accident. I like to keep stock of where I think things went wrong, so that hopefully in future rigs I just am able to find problems a little bit faster and improve my technique overall. Okay. One thing I kind of want to do down here is I want to move this line a little bit further down. Something like this. I think it'll look a little bit better. Yeah, I think that is a little bit better. Okay, does that line up with my left turn? It actually does. Fantastic. Okay, well that makes me happy. As you can see, it's quite easy to make me happy. Even small things like this can make me pretty happy. And I actually think that the shadows over here are lining up just fine. So this means it's off to the right side. Oh dear. Yep, that's the right side, alright. Okay. Oh, I actually feel like this isn't in the right spot. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a look around at that. I want to get that first. Yeah, I think that should be just a little bit further to the right here. I'm gonna line it up at the bottom, and then I'll see what I can do with my right turn, because I get the feeling that once it's lined up at the bottom, it's not going to align with the right turn anymore. But it's okay, I think it's worth fixing. There's something just not quite right here. Oh, it actually lines up decently well. Okay, that's good. Let's see here, but I have to do a little bit of adjustment here. There's like this black spot in there, and it is not in the right place here. It's a bit too low. So that tells me I have to pull some shenanigans with how some things are positioned here. Not quite sure what kind of shenanigans yet, but hopefully it's just I pull a vertex or two up and everything is fine. I'm hoping that's all it takes. Okay, well, so far so good. It's lining up a bit better now. Still feels a little bottom heavy there. Let me see. Is that lining up properly here? Okay, it is mesh consulting time. maybe if I just pull it over just a touch more, I'll be able to kind of get the effect I want here. Okay, that's not bad. I do think I want to bring the strand just a touch to the right, though. Oh, I see. It's because it's not actually connected there. I thought it was. Fascinating. Okay. Well, bringing it a touch to the right should connect it. Like, I thought that this strand was just sitting on top of this clump of hair right here. But no, on the right turn there, it actually wasn't. Probably should be. But I guess I don't notice it when I'm zoomed out this far. Oh yeah, this seems fine. Okay, I am satisfied. Now what was I doing? Hello there, Inochi2D. How are you doing today? Nope, this is the time I mentioned that daylight savings happened in my area, which means that stream will now be starting an hour earlier for anybody that does not observe daylight savings, which is probably most of you. Because yes, unfortunately, I need to continue streaming at the same time relative to how time is in my area. So that means it is now going to be starting at 10 a.m. UTC. So you can convert that to whatever time zone you live in. Oh, welcome home. Yeah, I just put things in UTC because it makes it easy for people to be able to convert it to whatever time zone they're in. Okay, wow, this entire area got... The movement here is very strange. Let's see, it looks like the vertices are being a little bit stretched. Is that all that's happening? Yes. Okay, excellent. So I can just kind of push all this down, stretch out these at the end here a little bit, and all should be well. Huh. Did I never properly align those? Because, like, I know that I had them a little bit separated here, but this is completely off. Okay, well, I should fix that before I keep going. I get the feeling I might have just accidentally pushed stuff around with the brush. That probably happens a lot. More than I like to admit. So let's just pull all this up here. And I will maneuver things into place here. Well, hello there, Vivi. I hope you're able to get some sleep soon. But in the meantime, I will be here gradually getting to the end of working on hair. I'll be kind of glad once I'm free from hair, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm going to know what to do with myself. It's going to feel weird to actually be working on other parts of the model. Alright, there we go. That's lining up better now. Not sure how it got pushed so far down, but here we are. And while I'm over here just looking in this area, I just see a couple of other things that I think I want to see if I can improve just a little bit more. No, don't click on that. There we go. So I feel like this should be a little bit further over to the left. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And then I just need to perfect the shape a little bit here. It just needs to point a little bit flatter at the top there. And then I think all will be well. I'm actually wondering if I should pull it a little further to the side even. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna try it. I think that if it looks the way that I think it's going to be pretty cool. So maybe on my right turns, this entire thing should just be like sitting underneath or front bang a little bit. I'm gonna go make that change across the board before I get too deep into fixing some of the stuff around it, like this little shadow bit that goes underneath. So I want to make sure that I actually like the way this looks. Just get it on in there before I can't undo it easily, more or less. Okay, but yeah, I like it. I'm gonna keep it. Okay, so this means that I have a little bit more work to do lining things up here, but I'm glad that I thought of that. I think it'll be pretty cool. So first things first, let's get the piece that sits on top, the side bang here, and get that just sitting where it needs to sit on all three of these right angles. And from there, I can start aligning things underneath here. Okay. Fortunately, it's proving to be pretty straightforward here. Right now it was a bit random. I've caught up on all the content though, so the next one won't be for a while. But in the future, I do plan to stream other games, and those I will actually start making a schedule for. I just have not started doing so yet. Basically, I'm also trying to set up multi-streaming options for Twitch, and once I have that done, that's probably when I will start doing more game streams. So I'm still figuring out how all that works. But yes, once I am actually doing game streams on a regular basis, I will put out a schedule. Infinity Nikki streams specifically will probably always be a bit random, because those I do whenever there's content, more or less. But at the very least, once I start releasing schedules, I will do my best to give like a week or so heads up for when I'm gonna do that. This time it was just kind of decided spontaneously, so I rolled with it. I just wanted to give it a try. See how I felt, but it was pretty fun, so I'd like to do it again. Oh, so that's why I didn't do it like that. Oh dear. Okay, so I think I'm realizing why I didn't do it like that in the first place, and I'm not sure how to fix it. I think it looks pretty cool in theory. Let's see if I can make it work. I would like to try to make it work. Any games I have in mind? The one that I plan to do first is Subnautica. Sometimes I have trouble with first-person games, so we'll see if my stomach can handle it, but Subnautica is currently the one that I plan on doing first. Okay, so I can't stretch it that far. Let me see, exactly where does this sit here? Not quite at like the very, very tippy top, but very close to it. Okay. So I gotta pull it down just a little bit here. But I think I can keep the effect mostly there, so maybe like right here. Ooh, it's rubbing up a little bit uncomfortably against the bang there, but I think it's fine. It should be fine. Yeah, just a temporary one, it's fine. See, it's already gone. I just needed to check something. It's like here I was, all set to finish the group of hair that I was working on. But then I discovered another rabbit hole to jump into, so naturally, here I am. Checking out all the nooks and crannies of the rabbit hole. It's how I roll, I suppose. Okay, I think that should be fine. I'm gonna fix the shadow just to make sure that it is indeed fine. And if it is fine, then I can use this as kind of the template to line up the other right angles again. Alright, let's just pull the shadow on out of there. I'm pretty sure I only want a fairly thin one here, right? Yeah. Pretty thin. Okay. I think this is a pretty reasonable compromise. I think it looks okay here. I just gotta get all the shapes right around here. And then all should be well. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Probably even better than it did before. So now I just gotta realign things up here. Okay, no problem. No problem. It's okay. This is why it's good to try things. Because, you know, even if it does get a little bit messed up, it's totally fixable. The joy of working in a digital space. It's so much easier to just go and try something if it sounds interesting. Doesn't cost me any paint money. And it's so easy to fix if it doesn't quite work out or if I have to tweak it a lot. Okay, and how did I do this again? Left was showing lots, right was showing very little, bottom was showing very little, so I should probably actually make this line just a touch thinner. Shadow area here, and then I can get the shadow area on the right turn. Okay, made it super duper thin, since the lower area is supposed to have a thinner shadow and the right area is supposed to have a thinner shadow, so it makes sense that the lower right would have the thinner shadow. Alright. So now let's put the shadow back on here. Where's my layer? Here it is. Okay. Just lost it for a second there. In the sea of hair layers. Sometimes they can get surprisingly difficult to spot. Okay, and the right side is supposed to be thinner, so how thin is it here? Okay, probably want it very slightly thinner than I currently have it. Just very slightly, because I want it to be a little bit thicker than it is on my lower right, as I was just talking about. Okay, seems pretty good. Now let's do the upper right. And then I can go back to what my mission today was supposed to be. It just works out like that sometimes. Sometimes I see something, and then I want to go and fix it. But it's for the best. Now I have a nicer side hair, I guess. Honestly, I think there I make it sound less exciting than it is. But I do like it when I can make things look a little bit more three-dimensional. And for this one, I will also make sure to check it against the top turn. Make sure that her head can just go in a complete circle without looking funny. Okay, and here I want it to be a little bit thicker than what I have on the right turn, because, well, thicker, but still thinner than what I would have up there. Just because the upper turns are supposed to have a thicker shadow here. That's just how I decided I was going to do it. I'm not sure if it has any basis in reality, but keeping these kinds of ideas consistent across the turns, I think, helps a little bit with making things look a little bit more three-dimensional. So on the left side, I made the shadow thicker, on the right side, I made it thinner, on the top turns, I made it thicker, and on the bottom turns, I made it thinner. Alright, let's see how we are here. Looking good. Okay. Back to what I was doing before. I was looking over here and just being like, yep, that sure is my right turns. Up in this area, because, I don't know, this spot right here is looking a little crunchy. So I'll have to see if I can make that a little bit smoother. Let me see if I otherwise like everything else. Okay. Mostly. I think everything else is mostly fine. There's just a spot with a highlight here that I think I can make look a little bit nicer. Okay. So now let's see if I can make this just a little bit smoother. Okay, it's not perfect, but I think that's probably okay. Probably about as good as I can get it, and I don't hate it, so I'll call it okay. Alright, seems pretty okay. So now I can look at this part again. It's actually not too bad here. Looks like whatever I did to totally mess up this on a lot of the other angles didn't get hit quite as hard here. So that's nice. Means less work for me right now, and I will certainly take that. Because I'm determined to finish all 4 angles here before I stop for today. Or all 4 corners, I guess I should say. Okay, and I think I had an issue similar to this in the upper left, in that I wasn't quite satisfied with how this area was digging into the dark area here. But funnily enough, on the upper left, I thought it had to be bigger. Here, this light spot that's going into this dark spot, I think needs to be a little bit smaller. I have the exact opposite problem over here. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, now I can see a little bit better. Okay. Had to check something for a second there. There's like this dark area digging in over here. And on the lower left, I was noticing that it was significantly shorter than it was, or on the lower right, rather. It was significantly shorter than it was on the right. And I was seeing, did I need to fix it on the right turn or the lower left, or lower right turn? And the answer is a little bit of both, but mostly the right turn, actually. So I made it a little bit longer on the right, and now it's time to make it a little bit shorter on the lower right. I could tell because there's a little highlight here that was just way too far down. So I knew that I had to push things up here, but I thought that the same area on the right turn was also just a little bit too short. So, that's why it's a little bit of both. Alright, there we go. Do I need to fix any of these shadows here? I don't think so. I think they were looking pretty okay, actually. Yep, looks pretty convincing to me. Cool. Alright, upper right turn. It's the last one. The one I hate the most. Let's go. Oh gosh, it is really off though. Okay. Got my work cut out for me here, but I'm determined to finish it before I stop for today. Okay, actually before I do that, I was just noticing that I think I want this strand a little bit longer, just like right through here. Something like that. Okay. Maybe longer is the wrong word. Thicker. A little bit thicker. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so now I gotta figure out what the heck's going on here. Okay, so first things first. That strand there. It's being stretched badly. This entire area through here just... it's being pulled upward in a way that looks very unnatural. Okay. Keep saying okay because I gotta tell myself everything's okay. It's very easy to be intimidated by something that is just so obviously wrong. But okay. The first step I think was good. How are we doing over here? So next I'm gonna shape this dark area. Because it has a little bit that needs to be more like pointed up this way. So I got everything pulled down so it matches up with the right turn better. And now I can start making things round. Try to make it look like it's draping gently over her head instead of being, like, ironed against it. Okay, that's not right, but it is better. Okay, and I feel like the shadow is lined up the way that I want it to be. I want the very tip of it to be pointing a slightly different direction, but everything else is fine. And here my brain was just freaking out about everything. Let's see, it's okay, brain. I told you it'd be okay. If I ever let you astray. I'll worry about kind of cleaning up down here in a little bit. First, I want to get this top area just all nice and aligned. How are we doing corner-wise? Okay. Corner has no objections. I've been trying to make a point to check the corners a little bit more often, because I feel like I've missed some really big issues that I've just had to go back and spend a bunch of time fixing after checking the corners, so trying to be a little bit more diligent with that. Or checking the diagonal, I should say, from the center out to the corner. Okay, so now I think I can worry about this lower part a little bit, because I feel like the entire thing just needs to come a little bit further this way. Just a little bit there. Nope, that was too much. Though actually I feel like there's a bunch of stuff in that area that needs to be fixed. So I might handle all that next time, but I'll worry about this area for today. Tomorrow might be Operation just fix the upper right turn. Upper right turn still needs a lot of help. And even though I'm mostly working up here, I'm still just kind of propagating some of the changes I make a little further down. And just so they don't bother me while I'm staring up here. Just enough that it doesn't bother me. Alright, so now I need to shape kind of the general shape of this tunnel area. We're seeing a lot of this underneath area. That's why there's so much shadow there. I think it looks pretty good. Yep. Pulled it up a little bit too much. Oh my, I didn't realize that. This strand was totally in the wrong place too. Somehow I missed that entirely. It happens sometimes. It's alright, I'll just go put it back. See, that was about all that took. Nice and easy. Alright, I think that's looking pretty okay. So, there's some more progress there. I do think tomorrow will be Operation Fix the Upper Right Turn and just fix everything just over here. And then, you know, if we're gonna do that, maybe I'll go ahead and just do the side of her head. The entire thing. On all the angles, depending on how long fixing the upper right takes. But I think for today, this is where I will stop. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.